Darin and Anita on Grand Strand. A music evolution. Now, Darin and Anita with your Grand Strand Artist Spotlight.
Darin and Anita on Grand Strand, back from a commercial break, folks. And it is that time of the show. We've been telling you about it through the show, our Spotlight interview segment. And with me on the line from North Augusta, South Carolina, Nelson Curry from Klass Band Brotherhood. Nelson, how are you, man?
Yeah, how are you, sir? I'm doing well. You know, I'm thawed out, of course, but other than that, I'm doing great.
I'm doing well, too. And I tell you, after the snow and all this stuff has moved through, it's just been incredible.
Yeah, I know, man. I would listen, I didn't expect any of when they said it was coming through, I was like, oh, yeah, whatever, let's get it over with. I didn't know it was going to be all this.
Exactly. I feel like we were in Atlanta like a couple weeks ago when they had their big to-do down there, and I'm like, I think we got it, too.
Yeah, we got it. I know it. Look, I know I got it.
Exactly. I know I got it, too. I've been shoveling today as well. I tell you what, Nelson, it's incredible finally to get to talk to you. I know we've talked before on the SSZ, the Southern Soul Zone, with Cassie C.J. Fox at the Bilo Center down in Greenville, South Carolina, and that was a great time. And I guess a good way to get started in this is to let people know, too, about the James Brown factor in your show, because you brought out the cape down there, and folks, you can see this interview on our website. Tell us a little bit about that and what that's all about.
Well, you know, I was I'm actually born May 3rd, which is the same day as James Brown.
Right.
So I would always get the kudos on birthday shout outs from one of the stations here all the time. I don't know if he enjoyed it because I was sharing the spotlight with him.
Right.
But he always believed in the whole entertainment factor. He always believed in putting on a show. And when he passed away, I figured, you know what, I'm going to keep bringing the cape. I'm going to do the cape thing as part of my Sugar Shack Man thing. Also, you know, I just raised funds to build the platform to put his statue on in Augusta. So if you ever go to Augusta and you take a picture with a James Brown statue, that platform that he's standing on, me and one of my friends, we did a fundraiser.
Right.
Raised about $13,000 to put the statue on a platform to get it off the ground. So the whole James Brown connection for me is like a no-brainer.
Exactly. Well, I tell you, with the dates and your birthday being all that, and I tell you, when we were at the Bilo Center with the SSZ thing with Cassie C.J. Fox, and you brought out the cape and put on, man, the cape is awesome just in itself. And, folks, you can see this on sszonline.com if you go check it out.
That's cool the way y'all did it. I saw that. That's cool. The way you had that cape fading in, I was like, yeah.
Because that was so cool in itself right there, man. And
that's cool stuff.
And I tell you to bring up and to get started, because I've read a little bit about you. Usually I ask the artists when we bring them on, I said, you know, how'd you get started in this entertainment business kind of thing? Well, you know, I found some video, and folks, you can find this on YouTube as well. You got to love YouTube nowadays, of you, and this had to be back in the day, man, back in the Jodeci Bobby Brown thing going on.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about I had, on my jacket, I always had Kid Curry on the jacket.
Yeah.
But, you know, we had the straight hair flip to the side kind of thing. It was cool for the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How did that come about? That was done in L.A., was that not? I think I read something like that.
Yeah, absolutely it was. I was in our group was called, it was called Klass at the time.
Right.
But it was the same guys. Everybody's the same except one person. One of our members died of stomach cancer, which is what brought us together to do what we're doing now. It's out of respect and kind of showing the brotherhood of where we all come from.
And that's
why we call ourselves Klass Band Brotherhood.
There you go. Well, I tell you, with La Klass, that you formed that actually into a label as well. I know in the 1980s, and folks who don't know this about you, and I thought this was the coolest thing in the world to see that, because I played the song so doggone much, and especially in the 90s in the top 40 clubs and things. But it was by Duice, and it was the Dazzy Dukes song, and you had that on that label. How did that, man? That's incredible. What's up?
Well, you know what? Actually, those guys are they were from Augusta. They were military placements, you know, kind of thing in Augusta.
Right.
And another good friend of mine, we call him Tony Mercedes. He's out in L.A. now. But we got together and decided, I said, I'll do the production and you do the label. Because it was actually on the TMR label, and I had a production company called Paragon Production.
Right.
And we got together and released the record independently, put it out, and I made a few connections in L.A., and then the record became a platinum-selling record.
Right.
Look at them girls today, the Duke told. I want you to. So, you know, it was about shorts, and it and it took off. You know, we were just trying to make our money back, and it ended up being a top record.
I'm going to tell you, it did. And and I'd even play it in the clubs back then. Man, I can remember the dance would be packed and everybody's just doing their thing. It's an incredible song there. Well, I tell you, moving into what's going on right now at Klass Band Brotherhood, I'm going to tell you, man, when I first heard you guys and got to know, I started dabbling in the Southern Soul world, and we've added that music to our radio show. And Sugar Shack was the first song that I heard by you guys, and I was like, wow, these guys have got it. And then we had some big stations like your Clear Channels and Infinity stations were picking this song up, and I'm like, these guys are really moving out of Augusta, man. Just an incredible time. How did Sugar Shack come about?
Well, we were, I'd gone to a Mel Waiter show. It was Mel Waiter, Sir Charles, and Lattimore. The Blues Is All Right tour. That's
right.
The one you saw us on. I went to that show in 2010, and I just kind of, I watched the audience and the people and how they were acting, and I was thinking, you know what, this is a market I think we can get into. So I called all the guys that were in the Klass band, and I wanted to, instead of putting an image out with one person, because there was just a Mel Waiter, Sir Charles, Lattimore. There was always one guy.
Right.
I wanted to do something a little different and put a band in the market and just make the music sound just a little different, but that same type of message and same audience.
Right.
And once we did that, I was like, yeah. When the guys heard it, they were like, oh, yeah, man, yeah, right, right, yeah, let's do it. And we put it in the market with the help of some other friends that some used to work in radio and some used to work in clubs, and we just made it start happening. And all of a sudden, it became a Southern Soul smash. And I'm like, cool, let's keep it going. Album time.
Right.
Yes.
And I tell you, and then it crossed over into the Carolina Beach music world and Myrtle Beach and all that, and the shag world, the shag dance. It took off there too. And then I know one of the follow-up songs, this album that this is on, folks, is called Out of the Shadows of Soul, and Honey Hole is on there as well, which was a great fun little tune. And I agree with something you said about you guys. You guys have a sound that's all your own. And I think that's one thing, this is in my mind as being a radio guy, that's one of the things that makes you guys unique, is because you have that sound that identifies you.
Hey, I thank you for picking up on that, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. Create our own sound.
And it does, and it's an incredible sound. Well, moving up now, this is the song that we're working right now, and folks, you're getting ready to hear it here momentarily. And this is off the album called
We call the Shots and Soul.
There you go. You call the Shots and Soul. It's called Dance Floor. Now, man, this is a grooving. I'm going to say a little bit more on the funky side kind of tune. How did Dance Floor come about?
Well, that came about because we'd gone to a little tiny club, and I thought about it. I was like, people are always eating chicken wings and dancing.
Right.
So, and then I realized, I was like, wow. You know how you turn around and you go, good Lord, how many people can they get on one dance floor? And so thus came the term.
And Dance Floor was born. Well, Nelson, what else is coming with you guys? What do you have in store, and where can folks find you, and what's your website going on?
Well, our website, of course, is klassbandbrotherhood.com, and that's spelled with a K for those people who don't know. klassbandbrotherhood.com. We are working on a new album, as a matter of fact, and we are fine-tuning our show for the Blues Is All Right tour, those portions that we're on, and we're preparing to go to Europe and Asia.
Wow, incredible, man. Doing a world tour almost on that. I guess you call that a world tour. Country to country.
We're trying to take it around the world, baby.
I'm going to tell you, well, you're doing a fine job doing that, and I tell you, much success to what's coming with you guys. And I always say, anything that you would like to let the folks know, let me and Anita know so we can get it on the air for you and let the fans out there know about it.
You got it, Darin. And I want to thank you and all your listeners for loving and listening to the Klass Band Brotherhood.
Man, and
we will try to continue to bring fresh sounding music to the place.
There you go. Well, Nelson, let's give them the new song right now. Here it is, folks.
Hey, this is Nelson Curry, the Sugar Shack Man from the Klass Band, and you're ready to go to the dance floor. Yeah.
Come on. Let's go out to party tonight, baby. Let's do it, girl. Yeah.
Darin and Anita on Grand Strand. A music evolution.